Hi everyone, in this video we'll solve another SQL analytics problem with a use case. Stay tuned. Here's our use case. Our e-commerce company wants to better understand customer behavior to improve the marketing campaigns. Using SQL, how would you analyze the data to provide actionable insights for our marketing team? Look at the data set. We have one table and the name is customer_transactions. This table has 4 columns: customer ID, invoice date, quantity, and unit price. I will show you first how to create a table and insert the records for you to practice with me. I'm also providing in the video description insert records that you can copy and paste to insert the records into the table. Going into your SQL server, okay, open a new page, create table. We have to create customer_transactions. So first you're gonna write create table, customer_transactions. Okay, open parentheses. You're gonna write your column names that I showed earlier, customer ID, okay, and this will be integer, so int, comma. Second column will be invoice date. This will be data type will be date, comma. Third column will be quantity, and this will be integer as well. These in blue are data types. Unit price. This will be data type decimal 10,2 because we will have decimals as well. So I'm giving it as decimal instead of integer or instead of whole number. So close parentheses and semicolon. So now I wrote how to create a table. I'm gonna select all, highlight all. Then you can go here, execute, and hit execute. Commands completed successfully. To insert the record, simply write insert into customer transactions. So I'm getting some options here. I'm gonna click here, which the customer_transactions table that I just created, right? So I'm gonna open parentheses and close parentheses, right? So in that, I'm gonna say that I'm going to use all these 4 columns to insert the records. So first one is, for example, customer ID. Oh, I'm getting the option here. Okay, comma, invoice date, again, choose it from the option, comma, quantity, choose it, comma, unit price. Again, I'm getting here option, or you can just type it. Okay, close parentheses. Now next line will be values. What values you want to put. First you wrote insert into. It will turn into blue color. You set table, these are the columns, then what values you want to put. Okay, first step. Second step is values. I'm going to give you the records in the description. So you can just copy paste from there, which I'm also going to do it. I have it in my document. I'm going to copy and paste. So the way you write it, first let me copy paste and show you. So I go back. The way you write it, first I'm gonna write customer ID as the integer that I said, which will be a number, comma, your date will be in the quotation marks here. So you will write 2024 January and 1st. Okay, so this is how you will write, comma, 2 is your quantity, so 2 is the quantity, 37.00 is the unit price. Okay, so this is how I will write it. For integers you don't need quotation, but for date you do need quotation. So every time you write more values, just separate it with the comma here and then do open parentheses, write all the values, close parentheses, comma. Repeat the process all the way till you add your records. In the end, when you are finished with it, when you close the parentheses, instead of a comma, just use semicolon, okay? Or even you can just remove the semicolon, it will work as is. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is now highlight all the way up, okay, to insert. Now if I bring it down a little bit, and you can see this is my step 2, and I'm running this to add these records into my newly created table called customer_transaction. Hit execute. 90 rows affected. Completion time is telling me what's the completion time, meaning I got no errors and these have been added to customer transactions. Now let's take a look quickly as if I run this, so I copy this customer_transactions, go all the way down, or you can open the new window too. But just to show you quickly, this is my newly created table. I inserted the records. So to see if I can see all the records, I'm just simply gonna write select all from customer_transactions. Show me all the records that are in the table. Now I'm gonna go hit execute. See, it's gonna populate all the records that I just created. You see that? So this is how you will create the table quickly and insert the records. Now let's do the analysis, which is, let's calculate how many times each customer made a purchase. You will start with a select statement. First, we're gonna utilize customer ID, okay? Because we're trying to figure out how many times each customer made a purchase. So we're gonna use customer ID column, comma, count all as purchase frequency. Okay, count all meaning we're trying to count the purchase frequency for this customer from customer_transactions table. Okay, selecting from the option, group by customer ID. Why are we doing customer ID group? Because whenever you are using aggregate functions like count, sum, average, all the other columns you have to group by. Okay, oh, I put comma here. So see, select customer ID, comma, count all as purchase frequency from customer_transaction, group by customer ID, okay, order by purchase frequency. Okay, I want to order by purchase frequency, meaning how many times the customer has purchased. So it will be order by that. Let's do DESC. This will give me the highest total first and then the lowest as the last. Okay, and now I'm gonna run this, highlight all, execute. So it's giving me customer ID. ID number 7 has the highest purchase frequency, 11, as well as 8. Customer ID 8 has also purchased 11 times. Customer ID 10 has purchased 10 times. So these are my top 3 customers that are purchasing very frequently. Okay, this is solving 2 things: how many times each customer made a purchase, plus top customers with highest frequency, with highest purchasing frequency. Okay, we solved 2 questions. Same thing, but giving you the result, right? We just calculated how many times each customer made a purchase. Now we want to see or calculate the total amount each customer spent. Okay, so how you will do it is you will start with the select statement, select customer ID, because we want to see the customer and the total amount that they have spent. So customer ID comma sum. Yeah, now you're doing a sum function. Open parentheses, I will take quantity column times unit price column, close parentheses, as total spent. So here I'm doing simple math. We are multiplying the quantity of items purchased by their unit price for each transaction, and then summing up these values for each customer. Okay, so for each customer here, that's what we are doing from customer transactions. This is our table. Okay, now we are using sum function, so we're gonna do group by customer ID just like we did earlier, right? So you can type group by customer ID, and then I'm gonna do order by. This time I'm gonna do total spent, because I want to see total spend in descending order. So highest spending first. And now I'm gonna select all and hit execute. Now it's telling me that my customer ID 7, the total spend they have is this much. So customer 7 spent the most, 1,948 and 60 cents. Customer 10 comes in second with $1,690 and 51 cents, and so on. So this is how you will calculate the total amount each customer has spent. Let's do another analysis, and then we can also come up with the conclusion. Okay, now third question is to analyze monthly sales trend. We're trying to calculate the total sales per month to understand purchasing trends over time. So the emphasis here is per month instead of the whole date. So what we will do in this case is we will start with the select statement, and I'm using SQL Express, okay, SQL Server Studio. So this is SQL Express, and in order to just fetch the month, I can use the function called month. Okay, open parentheses, and I will use invoice date column, okay, as my month. Okay, comma. So this will only give me month. So let me show you if I had to choose just month versus the whole invoice date, and how it will look like side by side. So what I will do is, just to give you a quick example, select month invoice date in open parentheses and close parentheses as month, comma, regular invoice date, right, column, and I will do from customer transaction. So select, how about I do distinct, just to show you just the month versus all the dates, okay, from customer transactions. So I will select this, hit execute. This column is only showing me month, which is the second. So if you see, the first is year, then the second is month, and then dates. So if you go all the way down, it is going to only show me the month for the column. Okay, so this is the difference. Now I'm going to take the invoice date out from here because I'm only focusing on month here right now. Calculate the total sales, right? So what I'm going to do is, comma, this will become my first column. Take the distinct out. Okay, do sum again, quantity times unit price, what we did earlier, right, as total sales. Same thing that we did earlier. You can either call it total spend, total sales, right, from customer transactions. You group by again with what? with your, you just did this, right? With this, the invoice date, but in the form of month. So you will basically copy all the way up to close parentheses and group by this. And you can order by with month, the column that you just created, order by month. Okay, if I don't say ASC or DESC, if you don't declare this, it automatically gives you ASC, okay, by default. But you can always say, hey, I want the latest month first, so you can write DESC, or you don't care, so you just say, okay, you can just order it by ASC, meaning January, February, March, April. So you can leave it as is, semicolon. Okay, now what I'm going to do is highlight everything, hit execute. Oops, what did I do? Oh, so here I made a mistake. I gave a space here, so just take the space out. Okay, now it should resolve. Hit execute now. Okay, so now what it did is by month. Okay, by month, the first column that I created is give me months, and I had months January, February, March, which is 1, 2, 3. Then I said give me the total sales, and the total sales formula, I did a simple math again, quantity, okay, the total items times the price of that quantity. Okay, this will give me total sales. From customer transactions, I did it group by invoice date, order by month as in like January, February, March. Okay, so this is how we figure out how to analyze monthly sales trends. Okay, let's do another analysis to help the marketing team in order to improve the marketing campaigns. Okay, so last analysis in this video for finding out customer behavior to help marketing team, right? We're gonna do this query where we're gonna segment customers based on their recent purchase recency, number of purchases, and total spend. Okay, so I wrote here some comments. We're gonna do 3 steps: calculate recency, calculate frequency, calculate total spend, and then I will combine the steps to see the result, and then we will run the whole query. Okay, so in order to solve the analysis, right, let's do step 1. Step 1 is you will do common table expressions. So with recency, so instead of writing CTE, which is common table expression, I will use the name Recency. Okay, as open parentheses, select customer ID. I'm going to take that column. Then I'm going to write date, dated if, this is a function and I will tell you what it's doing, day, comma, max, take invoice date. Okay, I'm taking max invoice date, day, comma, get date, open parentheses, close parentheses, and close parentheses again to close this whole statement, as recency. Okay, this dated if, day comma max invoice date comma get date, is going to calculate the number of days since the last purchase of each customer. So it will give me the max, right, the max date for the customer. So it's gonna calculate the number of days since the last purchase for each customer. It's gonna give me the latest date for each customer when they came and last shopped. Okay, from customer transactions, this is my table that I want to pull this from. Group by, since I use this function, this statement, and I'm using max function, So I'm gonna group it by customer ID. Okay, I'm gonna use this customer ID. Now I'm gonna close parentheses, comma. Okay, I wrote my first step, first the statement for common table expression. This will give me recency. Now let's go to step 2. Step 2 is now calculate frequency. The frequency of customer that shop with us. Okay, customer ID. Sorry, first I'm gonna do, so when we do close parentheses, comma, for step 2, what we're gonna do is, now my step 2 starts as frequency as, open parentheses. If you look, recency as, now my second step is frequency as. I'm gonna do select customer ID. Okay, now I want to do count all. If you remember, we did earlier count all, right? So we're gonna do count all as frequency from, again, customer transactions. Second step was easier because we did this earlier. Okay, group by, again we're gonna do as group by customer ID. Okay, this is my step 2, frequency. Step 1 is recency, give me decency. Step 2 is give me frequency. Now go to step 3, which is gonna do, let me move this a little bit up. Step 3, calculate total spent. We already did this earlier. So all you have to do is you can write total spent as. Okay. So, oh, I forgot one thing. So every step when you are doing open parentheses, you have to close the parentheses and then comma. Meaning frequency is defined as this. Recency is defined as this. Okay. Now I am defining total spent as open parentheses and, you know, close parentheses, right? So I'm going to do select statement again. Customer ID, because everything that I'm doing here, I will be using customer ID to, like, you know, see the whole recent purchase, number of purchases, and then total spent. So customer ID, comma, sum function. If you remember, we did quantity earlier, times unit price as total spent. Okay, now again you're gonna do, since we use the sum function, every aggregate function you always do group by. So I'm gonna do the same again. I can just copy paste because I'm repeating here. So what I'm gonna do is from customer transactions, group by customer ID. Okay, close parentheses, and this time I'm not going to use comma like I did in step 2 and step 1, because step 3 is my last step. Okay, so afterwards I will not do any comma, because what I'm going to do from all these 3 above, all these 3 steps, I'm going to combine these steps now and fetch the result. So what I'm going to do now is select statement. So I'm gonna fetch customer ID. Okay, so I can fetch this from the first one, which is recency. So I can do recency as R dot. So R is my recency table, and I will show you when did I give this alias R, okay, which I will show you. So recency is the table where I'm getting the customer ID, comma, again R dot, I want recency that I defined above here, right? Let me move this all the way down so you can see. So what I'm doing is R dot customer ID. I'm getting customer ID from my step 1, for example, and I'm also getting recency, which I'm defining here, okay, comma, this will be my second column. My third column will be F dot frequency. I'm giving f as alias for frequency here. So I'm using this frequency, comma, m dot total s dot total spent. Okay, so what I'm saying is give me total spent from here, but I'm giving alias as s. Okay, from, now I'm asking fetch all of these from above. So I'm gonna write from Recency as R. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna join Recency that I defined above to frequency. And how I will do it is join frequency. Okay, I will call frequency as f as my alias, which I also said here as f, right? F on r dot customer ID, right, which I'm getting from here, and I also get here dot f dot customer ID. If you remember, we use customer ID in each defined steps, right? So I am doing, oops, sorry, equals. So what I'm saying is join my frequency table to recency table on its customer ID to frequency customer ID. Then I'm going to do another join total spent, and I called alias as s. This is where the s came from, right? On s dot customer ID equal, I'm going to do again, I'm going to join this third step to first step. So I'm going to join my s dot customer ID to r dot customer ID. Okay, so I'm joining all these tables to each other. Now I'm gonna say order by r dot customer ID. Okay, I want to order my result, that where I will get customer ID, I will get recency, frequency, total spent, but order it by customer ID because I want to learn customer behavior, right? So now I'm going to run this analysis. Okay, highlight all and then hit execute. I got the result here. Let me pull up the result. Now it's showing me customer IDs in order because I did order by customer ID. Okay, now I'm getting all the customer ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Their recency, okay, their frequency, okay, and the total spent. So this result is basically telling me the customer ID recency, which is nothing but a calculation of the number of days since the most recent purchase for each customer, right? The number of days since the most recent purchase for each customer. This is useful for understanding how recently customer have interacted with your business, right? The frequency, total spend, and this will give you the understanding of customer behavior, right? I hope these exercises were very helpful. These are real examples and which we use in the corporate world. This will really help you learn SQL and also help you when you go into the corporate world solve some analysis and analytics. So guys, if you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. Thank you for joining me today and happy SQL analyzing!